We know that light travels in a straight line path. So, whenever an opaque object comes in the path of light, it does not allow the light to pass through it, due to which a dark patch is produced on the opposite side of source of light. This dark patch is called as the shadow of the opaque object. The shape of the shadow form is similar to the shape of the opaque object. Whenever light rays falls on an opaque object, it blocks the light rays falling on it, due to which the portion covered by the object does not receive any light and remains dark. Whenever light falls on an opaque object from a point source, then we obtain a complete dark shadow of the object. It is called the umbra. But when the source of light is an extended source, then we obtain a shadow which is completely dark at the center, which is called the umbra, but the surrounding portion of the umbra is less dark, or we can say less bright, as it receives some light from the source. This less bright portion is called as the penumbra. Thus, umbra is that portion of shadow where no light reaches from the source of light. It is completely dark, while penumbra is the portion of the shadow where a portion of light from the source reaches the shadow. It is not completely dark but less bright. To form umbra alone, we need a point source of light. We can get a point source of light by placing a candle behind the cardboard having a fine hole in it. Now, place an opaque object in the path of light, or you can say in the front of the candle. You can see that the light rays coming from the source are completely obstructed by the opaque object, due to which no light reaches the screen. Thus, a complete dark patch is obtained on the screen, which is called as umbra. The shadow thus formed will have sharp edges, and it will always be bigger in size than the object. To get umbra and penumbra both, we need an extended source of light. So you can take a candle or a torch. Now place an opaque object in the path of light between the source and the screen. Now observe the light rays. The center of the shadow is not receiving any light from the source. Thus it is completely dark. But the portion CE, it is receiving some light from the point P. Similarly, the portion DF is receiving some light from the point Q of the source of light, due to which this surrounding portion of the shadow is partially dark, which is called as penumbra. If we keep an opaque object bigger than the source of light, then size of umbra will also increase. To form penumbra alone in the shadow, we have to take source of light bigger than the opaque object, due to which the umbra obtained on the screen will be very small in size. If we take the screen away from the object, we can notice that the umbra will start decreasing and soon it will vanish. And thus only penumbra is obtained on the screen. Thus, if the source of light is bigger than the opaque object and the distance between the object and screen is large, then the shadow form contain penumbra only. You have observed that when birds fly in the sky, they do not cast their shadow. It is because Here the source of light, that is the sun, is much more bigger in size than the object, that is the bird. The screen or the earth is at a large distance from the bird. Thus, only penumbra is formed in the shadow, and that also is very faint, thus not visible at all. Therefore, no shadow is obtained when birds fly in the sky.